Advice Session, a series here on Anything Goes where you, yes you, send in your current dilemmas or anything that you want advice on, and then I, yes me, give you my own professional advice. And today's topic is a topic that we've touched on many a times here on Anything Goes, and that would be the topic of friendship. But more specifically, friendship breakups and boundaries, also known as the less fun.
What if the person you call a friend is actually the reason you feel drained, exhausted, and not like yourself anymore? Friendship is supposed to feel like comfort, like laughter that comes easy, like conversations that make time disappear, but what nobody really prepares you for is the moment when that same friendship starts to feel heavy. When every interaction feels like a responsibility instead of a choice. When you walk away from hanging out not feeling happy, but emotionally drained. And here's the truth most people avoid. If you never speak up, nothing changes. Silence doesn't protect your friendship. It slowly destroys it. The problem isn't always that your friend is a bad person. Sometimes they just don't see the impact they're having on you. That's why communication isn't optional. It's everything. Having that uncomfortable conversation, calmly expressing how you feel, might actually save the friendship. It might open their eyes. It might lead to growth, accountability, and a stronger bond than before. But if it doesn't, if they dismiss your feelings, get defensive, or simply refuse to change, then you're left with a choice. And it's a hard one. Stay and keep losing yourself, or walk away and protect your peace. Because at the end of the day, no friendship, no matter how long it's lasted, is worth sacrificing your mental and emotional well-being. But what if the real fear isn't losing the friendship? It's what they might do with everything they know about you. This is the part nobody talks about. The terrifying reality that someone who once knew your deepest secrets, your most vulnerable moments, could one day become a stranger. And not just any stranger, a stranger with access to pieces of you that the world has never seen. It's unsettling. It makes you question everything. What if they talk? What if they share things you trusted them with? What if your private moments become public stories? The fear is real, but staying in a friendship out of fear is not the answer. Because then you're not choosing the friendship, you're trapped in it. And that's not connection, that's control. The truth is, vulnerability always comes with risk. Every time you open up to someone, you're trusting them with a part of your story, and once it's shared, you can't take it back. But here's the perspective that changes everything. Even in the worst-case scenario, you are still in control of how you respond. People may talk, people may judge, but your growth, your peace, and your future are not defined by what others say about you. Most of the time, those fears never even come true. And even if they do, you're stronger than the situation you're imagining. So instead of shrinking yourself to feel safe, learn from it. Set better boundaries. Choose wisely who you open up to. But never let fear be the reason you stay somewhere that no longer feels right, because your peace is worth more than anyone's opinion. What if the problem isn't your friends, but the fact that you're afraid to say no? So many people stay overwhelmed, not because they don't love their friends, but because they don't know how to protect their own space. You enjoy their company, you value the bond, but deep down, you crave silence, solitude, time to just breathe, and every invitation starts to feel like pressure instead of pleasure. And instead of being honest, you say yes when you mean no, you show up when you're drained, and slowly you start losing the most important relationship of all, the one with yourself. But here's the truth. Needing space doesn't make you rude, cold, or distant. It makes you self-aware. The real issue isn't saying no, it's how you say it. Because tone changes everything. A cold, dry response creates distance, but warmth, honesty, and reassurance strengthen the bond even in absence. When you say, "I can't make it tonight, but I love you guys and I'll catch up soon," you're not rejecting them. You're respecting yourself while still valuing them. And the right friends? They won't feel offended. They'll understand. Because healthy friendships don't demand your constant presence. They respect your boundaries. So stop fearing that saying no will push people away. The people who truly belong in your life will never need you to exhaust yourself just to prove you care. What do you do when someone who once knew everything about you now stands in the same room like a stranger? This is one of the most uncomfortable realities of life. outgrowing someone you once couldn't imagine living without, and then being forced to share space with them like nothing ever happened. The memories are still there, the history is still there, but the connection, it's gone. And suddenly, every glance feels heavy, every interaction feels awkward, and silence becomes louder than words. You replay the past in your mind, wondering what changed, what broke, what could have been fixed. But here's the truth most people don't realize. Not every relationship is meant to last forever, and not every ending needs a dramatic explanation. Sometimes, people simply outgrow each other, and that's not failure, that's evolution. You have two choices in moments like this. You can either carry the weight of awkwardness, overthink every interaction, and let it consume your energy, or you can rise above it with quiet confidence. Be polite, be respectful, but don't force a connection that no longer exists. And if you have the courage, you can even address it, clear the air, remove the tension, and create a new, neutral ground where both of you can coexist without discomfort. Because peace doesn't come from pretending nothing happened. It comes from accepting that something did, and choosing not to let it control you anymore.